Good morning, students. Nowadays, we are studying a lesson. We are not afraid to die if we can all be together by Gordon Cook and Ernest. And in our previous video, we had studied that a torrent of seawater broke over the ship. A very enormous wave broke over the ship, and the narrator's head smashed onto the wheel, and he accepted the approaching death and started losing consciousness. But suddenly the narrator's head rose out of the water. He saw wave walkers was turning over. Then a huge wave turned him upright. Um, Turned that wave walkers upright. The narrator caught the guardrail, wave tossed him. His ribs cracked, and his mouth was full of blood and broken teeth. The water was everywhere, but he did not leave the wheel to investigate. Suddenly, he found that the front door was thrown open, and Mary, his wife, Mary, appeared there, and she cried that we were drowning. Larry and her were pumping like madmen. The broken things lay scattered here and there. Narrator swam to the children's cabin and he asked if they were all right. They said they were all right, though Sue had a big bump above her eyes. And the narrator took a hammer, screws, and canvas, and he put canvas over the gaping holes. Some water was deflected. And now the next para. So move on the next para. More problems arose when our hand pumps started to block up with the derribs floating around the cabins and the electric pump short circuited. The water level rose threateningly back on the deck. I found that our two spare hand pumps had been wrenched overboard along with the forestay sail, the jib, the dingies, and the main anchor. And more problem arose when our hand pumps started to block because Larry and her were pumping out water from the ship, and but when the hand pumps started to block because the derribs was floating there, um, and and electric pump, they had an electric pump, and that is also short circuited, and then water level was rising alarmingly. And he went back on the deck. He found that there two spare hand pump was there, and but they were wrenched overboard. Wrenched means they were also torn. They were floating in the water. They are also short circuited, and along with forestay sail, the jib, the dingies, the main anchor, they were floating. All were floating in the water. Then I remembered we had another electric pump under the chart room floor. I connected it to an out pipe and was thankful to find that it worked. And then at last he remembered that he had another electric pump which was in the chart room. Mm, and he took that hand pump from there and he connected that with a out pipe, and he was very thankful that it worked. It is not short circuited. The night dragged on with an endless, bitterly cold routine of pumping, steering, and working the radio. We were getting no replies to our mayday calls, which was not surprising in this remote corner of the world. And then the night dragged on endless. Night was going on endless. It is very big. They seemed that it is very big night. They had to keep pumping and steering all night and working on the radio. They were doing three things there, three works. First is pumping. They were continuously pumping water out of the ship, out from the ship, and steering. They handling the steering, and they were working on the radio. They were working on the radio because they wanted to send messages. They sent radio signals for help, but there was no reply. It was not surprising, he said, that we were getting no replies of our Mayday calls. Mayday calls means international calls sent by from the ship. So, which was not surprising in the remote corner of the world. It was not surprising because they were in the remote corner of the world, and they mm, were not getting any replies from their calls. Sue's head had swollen alarmingly. She had two enormous black eyes, and now she showed us a deep cut on her arm. When I asked her why she had not made more of her injuries before this, she replied, I didn't want to worry you when you were trying to save us all. And Sue's head had swollen alarmingly. And then Sue means Sujane, his daughter. Sue's head had swollen alarmingly. Her eyes looked terribly black, and she had a deep cut on her arm. And when the writer asked why she had not told about her injury to him, she said, I did not want to worry you when you were trying to save us all. So it shows that she was a mature girl, how mature she was, and she did not worry to her father, when he was trying harder to save them. And then the next para. By morning on January 3, the pumps had the water level sufficiently under control for us to take 2 hours rest in rotation. But we still had a tremendous leak somewhere below the waterline, and on checking, I found that nearly all the boat's main rib frames were smashed down to the keel. In fact, there was nothing holding up a whole section of starboard hull except a few covered partitions. And by the morning 3, the pumps had the water level sufficiently under control. And the pump had worked very well, and the water level went under control. Then they could take 2 hours rest in rotation, in pumping. But we still had a tremendous leak. But they saw that there was a big leak from somewhere below the waterline. Below the waterline, do you know what is waterline? You can see like see that like it is a ship. You can imagine that it is a ship and it is a water line. It is a sea water from here. Okay, so it is a water line. It is a water line. So they saw that they had a leak from here and here and under the water line. Under the water line, below the water line, they somewhere in the below of the water line, they had a tremendous leak. Okay, and I found that, and he said that he found that nearly all the boat's main rib frames were smashed down. All the smashed down to the keel. Smashed down to the keel means steel structure along the base of the ship. All the steel structure was also broken. You can see the main rib smashed to the keel. I found that nearly all the boats' main rib frames were smashed down to the keel. To the keel means the steel structure was also smashed down. In fact, there was nothing holding up a whole section of a starboard hull, starboard the framework, except a few covered partition. Except a few covered partition was there, but the rest of the part or rest of the frames were smashed down. Okay. We had survived for 15 hours since the wave hit, but Wave Walker wouldn't hold together long enough for us to reach Australia. And it was 15 hours since the wave had hit the ship. They survived from the 15 hours, and they had survived. Now they could have 2 hours rest in rotation, because they were out of danger, because water level was sufficiently low, and but still a lot of repairs had to be done in the lower part of the ship where all the wooden frame had smashed, and it did not seem possible that Wave Walker would be able to reach Australia, because the condition of that Wave Walker was not good and was not sufficient that enough that they could reach Australia. I checked our charts and calculated that there were two small islands a few hundred kilometers to the east. And he checked from his chart and calculated that there were two small islands. Islands means a part of land that surrounded by water. So they thought that there were two small islands a few hundred kilometers to the east. One of them Isle Amsterdam, and one of them that islands was Isle. One island is Isle Amsterdam, was a French scientific base. Our only hope was to reach these pinpricks in the vast ocean. But unless the wind and seas abated, so we could hoist sail, our chances would be slim indeed. The great wave had put our auxiliary engines out of action. And when they calculated that there was an island and named Isle Amsterdam, and they wanted to reach on that island, and it was a French scientific base, that in the and our only hope was to reach there. Pinpricks in the vast ocean. Pinpricks means a prick caused by the pin, like a pinprick. Pinpricks in the vast ocean means the two small islands in the vast ocean were very tiny, like the pricks caused by a pin. Pinprick means in that vast ocean, and those Isle Amsterdam or those islands were looking like a pinprick. But unless the wind were and seas abated, so we could hoist a hail. Abated means to become less intense, means stopped. So less intense, the wind was less intense then, and they could hoist the sail, the storm jib or the sail cloth. Our chances would be very slim indeed. They had very less chances, not good chance to reach that Isle Amsterdam. The great wave had put our auxiliary engine out of action, and their auxiliary means secondary, and their secondary engine was also the out of action. It was also destroyed. And then the next para. On the January 4th, after 36 hours of continuous pumping, we reached the last few centimeters of water. And now we had only to keep pace with the water still coming in. We could not set any sail on the mainmast. Pressure on the rigging would simply pull the damaged section of the hull part. So we hoisted the storm jib and headed for where I thought the two islands were. On January 4th, after 36 hours, after 36 hours of continuous pumping, and January 4th, they were doing continuously pumping, and for 36 hours we reached the last few centimeters of water, and now the water level was a few centimeters, and now we had only to keep pace with the water still coming. As water coming into the ship, they throw that water out from the ship by their hand pump. We could not set any sail on the mainmast because the damaged section of hull part was very now then very weak, and it could be smashed by the pressure of the ropes, and it pulled the damaged section of the frames of the ship. So we hoisted the storm jib. They did not pull the sailcloth. They put only a storm jib and headed. They hoist only storm jib, not sail, and headed for, and they started their journey towards the islands. They thought that there was an small two islands named Isle Amsterdam was also there, and they started their journey towards that. Mary found some corned beef and cracker biscuits, and we ate our first meal in almost 2 days. And Mary, his wife, found some corned beef and cracker biscuits, and they ate their first meal in almost 2 days. After 2 days, they took their first meal, and what were the some corned beef and biscuits only. So you can imagine that how dangerous the situation was, and how they faced that dangerous situation. So courageously and so boldly they faced the situation, and that was very dangerous situation for them, an alarming situation for them. Okay, but our respite was short lived. At 4 p.m., black clouds began building up behind us, and within the hour, the wind was back to 40 knots, and the seas were getting higher. But our respite was short lived. But the sense of relief was short lived. At 4 p.m., black clouds began to build up behind them, and the wind became stormy, and waves rose higher. The weather continued to deteriorate throughout the night, and by dawn on January 5, our situation was again desperate. Deteriorate means to get worse. So their weather continued deteriorate. The weather continuously getting worse throughout the night. And by the January 5, the next day morning, dawn means early morning, our situation was again desperate. By the dawn, by the morning of the January 5, the situation was against very horrible. When I went into comfort the children, John asked, "Daddy, are we going to die?" I tried to assure him that we could make it, but Daddy, he went on, "We are not afraid of dying if we can all be together, you and Mummy, Shu and I." And when I went to comfort the children, John, his son, said, "Daddy, are we going to die?" His son asked a question to him that they were going to die. The writer tried to assure him that they would succeed in their effort. And at this, the boy said, "Daddy, we are not afraid of dying if we can all be together. You, Mummy, Shu, and I. If all four of us would be together, so we are not afraid of dying." They were not afraid of dying. So it shows that the children were so mature and so bold and so courageous, and they were supporting their parents. They were doing their best, what they could do. So they were very courageous boy and girl, the children. So now it is the end of today's session. So it is the time of Hindi Shamri. Okay, so look at the Hindi Shamri from we started today from here. More problem arose when our hand pumps started to block. और ज़्यादा समस्या तब खड़ी हो गई जब उनके हैंड पंप खराब होने लगे, और क्योंकि वहाँ डेरिप्स आ गया था, कूड़ा कचरा आ गया था, मिट्टी रेत आ गई थी, जिसके कारण उनके इलेक्ट्रिक उनके जो पंप थे वो ख़राब हो गए, हैंड पंप, और इलेक्ट्रिक पंप भी शॉर्ट सर्किटेड हो गया और वो भी ख़राब हो गया। वाटर लेवल बढ़ने लगा और नैरेटर जो है वापस डेक पर जाता है, देखता है कि उसके 2 स्पेयर हैंड पंप थे वहाँ, लेकिन जब वहाँ देखता है तो वहाँ पर हैंड पंप्स हैं, 4 स्टे सेल है, जिब है, डिंजीज छोटी छोटी नौकाएं हैं, द मेन एंकर है, वो सब बर्बाद हो गया है, सब पानी में बह गया है। और फिर उसको याद आता है कि उसके पास एक और इलेक्ट्रिक पंप है, चार्ट रूम में रखा हुआ है, वो जाता है उसको लाता है, फिर उसको एक आउट पाइप से कनेक्ट करता है और वो थैंकफुल गॉड को, भगवान को धन्यवाद देता है कि उसने काम कर दिया, अर्थात वो इलेक्ट्रिक पंप काम कर गया। द नाइट ड्रैग्ड ऑन, इसी तरह से नाइट खींचती रही, एंडलेस, ख़त्म ही नहीं हो रही है, बड़ी लंबी नाइट लग रही है, बिटरली कोल्ड, बहुत ज़्यादा ठंड है, और उनको वहाँ 3 काम कर रहे हैं वो लगातार उस ठंड में, मतलब पूरी रात। पंपिंग, पहला काम तो पंपिंग करते रहे, सारे पानी को जो है बाहर पंप करना है, शिप के अंदर जो भी पानी है उसको बाहर फेंकना है। स्टीयरिंग और व्हील को पकड़ के रखना है, और आप जानते हैं कि वो वहाँ से जब निकला था व्हील को छोड़ करके, स्टीयरिंग को छोड़ करके, तो मैरी ने वो स्टीयरिंग संभाल रखा है तब से। एंड वर्किंग द रेडियो, और रेडियो पर काम करना, रेडियो पर काम करने का मतलब है वहाँ पर इंटरनेशनल कॉल्स, मेडे कॉल्स कहा गया है। तो मेडे कॉल्स का मतलब इंटरनेशनल कॉल होती है, वो सिग्नल देते हैं रेडियो पर कि ताकि कोई अगल बगल हो तो उनको बचा सके, वो इस तरह से सिग्नल उस पर रेडियो पर लगातार भेज रहे थे। लेकिन ये कोई सरप्राइजिंग की बात नहीं थी कि कोई उनकी बात को सुन नहीं रहा था, क्योंकि वो ऐसे रिमोट कॉर्नर पर थे, वर्ल्ड के ऐसे कोने पर थे कि जहाँ कोई नहीं था, केवल पानी पानी, समुद्र ही था, और किसी तक उनके सिग्नल्स पहुँच नहीं रहे थे। तो ये भी उनके लिए एक समस्या थी। और जो सुजैन है, उसका हेड जो है, उसका सिर, वो बहुत सूज गया है, और उसकी आंखें भी काली काली हो गई हैं, आंखों के आसपास का एरिया पूरा काला हो गया है, क्योंकि जब वो उसको चोट लगी। और फिर वो दिखाती है कि उसके आर्म पर, उसके हाथ पर भी एक कट लगा हुआ है बड़ा। और जब नैरेटर उससे पूछता है कि तुमने पहले क्यों नहीं बताया अपनी इस इंजरी के बारे में, तो वो कहती है कि मैं आपको चिंता में नहीं डालना चाहती थी, मैं आपको परेशान नहीं करना चाहती थी, जबकि आप हमको बचाने की कोशिश कर रहे थे। तो समझ सकते हैं वो कितनी मैच्योर लड़की है। और जनवरी 3 की सुबह को जो पंप हैं उन्होंने वाटर लेवल को अंडर कंट्रोल कर दिया, उनको वो इतना कम हो गया कि अब वो खतरे से थोड़ा बाहर है, और 2 घंटे का रेस्ट ले सकते हैं रोटेशन में बारी बारी से। लेकिन अभी भी कहीं कोई बड़ा लीक है वाटर लाइन के नीचे, इसीलिए वो चेक करता है, और उसको वहाँ जब देखता है कि जितना भी फ्रेमवर्क है, फ्रेम्स हैं, वो सारे टूट चुके हैं मेन रिब्स के, और जो स्टील स्ट्रक्चर है वो भी स्मैश्ड हो गया है, और नीचे से पानी आ रहा है अंदर, और स्टार बोर्ड जो हल है, जो फ्रेम है, वो पूरे केवल कुछ कवर्ड पार्टीशंस को छोड़ करके बाकी सब टूट चुका है। और इस तरह से वो सरवाइव करते हैं, किसी तरह से 15 घंटे तक सरवाइव कर गए। जब से वेव ने हिट किया था उनको, तब से 15 घंटे हो चुके हैं, वो सरवाइव कर चुके हैं तब से। और वेव वॉकर अब इतनी सफिशिएंट कंडीशन नहीं है उसकी, इतनी ऐसी एनफ कंडीशन नहीं है कि वो ऑस्ट्रेलिया पहुंच सके। उनको नहीं लगता कि ये वेव वॉकर उनको ऑस्ट्रेलिया पहुंचा सकता है, क्योंकि बहुत ज़्यादा वो टूट गया है। फिर नैरेटर चेक करता है अपने चार्ट्स को, कैलकुलेट करता है कि वो कहाँ पर हैं, दुनिया के किस कॉर्नर पर हैं। उसको वो ये पाता है कि वहाँ आसपास कोई ना कोई 100 किलोमीटर्स पर, कुछ 100 किलोमीटर्स पर वहाँ पर कुछ आइलैंड्स होने चाहिए, द्वीप होने चाहिए, और उनमें से आइल एम्स्टर्डम भी एक है, जो कि फ्रेंच साइंटिफिक बेस है। और उनकी उम्मीद केवल वही है कि हमें किसी तरह से आइल एम्स्टर्डम पहुँचना है। ऑस्ट्रेलिया तो अब नहीं पहुँच सकते उस कंडीशन में, जब तक कि उसको रिपेयर नहीं किया गया। केवल आइल एम्स्टर्डम उनका डेस्टिनेशन हो गया है, वो वहीं पहुंचना चाहते हैं। और वो आइल एम्स्टर्डम उस बड़े ओशियन में, इतने बड़े इस महासागर में वो पिन प्रिक की तरह है, सुई की नोक के बराबर, पिन की नोक के बराबर हैं, छोटे छोटे आइलैंड हैं। और अब हवा भी थोड़ी शांत हो गई है, लहरें भी थोड़ी कम हो गई है, इसलिए उन्होंने सेल को होइस्ट कर लिया है। उनके चांसेस बहुत कम हैं और उनका जो एक्सिलरी इंजन है, जो एक सहायक इंजन है, वो भी ख़राब हो चुका है। और इस तरह से जनवरी 4 आते आते 36 घंटे उनको हो गए लगातार पंपिंग करते हुए, और वो अब पानी का जो लेवल है वो कुछ ही सेंटीमीटर बचा है, केवल उतना ही बचा है जितना पानी नीचे से ऊपर आ रहा है, फिर उसी पानी को वो बाहर फेंक देते हैं, यानी पानी का लेवल उन्होंने डाउन बिल्कुल जीरो कर दिया है और कुछ ही सेंटीमीटर बचा है पानी का लेवल। और फिर वो कहता है कि उन्होंने वो अपनी जो मेन मास्ट है, मेन मास्ट पर बड़ी जो सेल क्लॉथ है उसको नहीं फैला सकते, क्योंकि उसके कारण हवा तेज़ी से चलेगी, उसकी रस्सियों पर ज़्यादा प्रेशर पड़ेगा, और जो पीछे का पार्ट है, पूरा फ्रेम सेक्शन है जिस पर वो रस्सियाँ बनी हैं, वो स्मैश हो सकता है, वो खींच सकता है, टूट सकता है, क्योंकि वो कमज़ोर हो चुका है। इसीलिए उन्होंने एक छोटी स्टॉर्म जीप के सहारे, उसको खोल करके उसके सहारे वो आइलैंड की तरफ बढ़ रहे हैं। और मैरी तब तक कुछ कॉर्न बीफ लाती है, कुछ बिस्किट्स लाती है, और उन्होंने 2 दिन के बाद जा कर के अपना पहला भोजन किया है थोड़ा सा। और इस तरह से जो रिलीफ उनको थोड़ा सा मिला है, ये भी ज़्यादा देर का नहीं है, ये भी जल्दी ही समाप्त हो गया, क्योंकि 4 बजे तक फिर दोबारा से क्लाउड बनने लगे पीछे से और हवा चलने लगी। हवा भी की स्पीड बढ़ गई, लगभग 40 नॉट्स हो गई, और सीज जो है हायर होने लगा, अर्थात वेव्स बढ़ने लगी। वेदर फिर ख़राब हो गया, मौसम ख़राब हो गया, पूरी रात ख़राब मौसम चलता रहा, और 5 जनवरी की सुबह आते आते उनकी सिचुएशन दोबारा से फिर डेस्परेट हो गई, फिर ख़राब हो गई। और नैरेटर कहता है कि मैं अपने बच्चों को कंफर्ट देने के लिए उनके पास गया, और मैंने मुझसे जॉन ने पूछा, जॉनाथन जो उसका बेटा है, वो पूछता है कि डैडी, आर वी गोइंग टू डाई, डैडी क्या हम मरने जा रहे हैं? तो नैरेटर कहता है कि मैंने उसको श्योर किया, मैंने उसको हिम्मत बंधाई कि नहीं नहीं, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, हम पहुंच जाएंगे उस आइल एम्स्टर्डम पर, और हम बचा लेंगे अपने आप को। लेकिन वो कहता रहा कि बट डैडी, हम मरने से नहीं डरते, वी आर नॉट अफ्रेड टू ऑफ डाइंग, हम मरने से नहीं डरते, यदि हम चारों साथ साथ रहें तो, आप, मम्मी, मैं और सू, अगर हम ये सारे साथ साथ रहें तो फिर हमें मरने से भी डर नहीं लगता, फिर अगर मौत आ भी जाएगी तो कोई बात नहीं। तो इस बच्चे कितने मैच्योर हैं, और वो अपने पेरेंट्स का ही की हिम्मत बढ़ा रहे हैं, और वो उनके सामने ऐसा नहीं कर रहे कि बच्चे बहुत डर रहे हैं और वो अपना ध्यान छोड़कर बच्चों को संभालने में लगे। ऐसा नहीं है, और बच्चे मैच्योर हैं, समझदार हैं। और इस तरह से ये आज का चैप्टर यहाँ पर, आज का जो पैराग्राफ है वो यहाँ पूरा होता है, और बाकी की जो स्टोरी है वो अगले वीडियो में हम देखेंगे। ओके।